In the tapestry of human history, certain threads shimmer with an unsettling luminescence, hinting at a pattern woven by unseen hands. These are the prophecies, the whispers of fate that echo through time, both beckoning and unsettling. From the Delphic oracle to Nostradamus, humanity has long sought to pierce the veil of the future, seeking guidance, reassurance, or perhaps a morbid fascination with the unknown. Some dismiss prophecies as mere superstition, the product of overactive imaginations or deliberate manipulation. Others see them as divine pronouncements, unerring guideposts on the road to destiny. Whether viewed as truth or fabrication, prophecies exert a powerful hold on the human psyche, their enigmatic pronouncements sparking endless debate and speculation. Among the countless prophecies that have captivated and confounded throughout the ages, few are as chilling and controversial as the prophecy of the popes, attributed to the 12th century Irish Archbishop Saint Malachy. This enigmatic document, shrouded in mystery and controversy, purports to foretell the reigns of every pope from Malachy's time until the very end of the papacy, and with it perhaps the end of the world as we know it. Join us now as we delve into the origins of this enigmatic prophecy, examine its cryptic pronouncements, and explore its potential implications for our time. Prepare to journey into the heart of a mystery that has captivated and confounded for centuries. A mystery that leads us to the very doorstep of the Vatican and the looming shadow of the last pope, Petrus Romanus. Our story begins in the 12th century, a time of religious fervor and political intrigue. Malachy O'Morgair, born in Armagh, Ireland, was a man of deep faith and renowned piety. Elevated to the position of Archbishop of Armagh, Malachy became a pivotal figure in the Irish Church, known for his reforms and unwavering commitment to the papacy. In 1139, Malachy embarked on a pilgrimage to Rome, a journey fraught with peril and driven by a profound sense of purpose. Legend has it that during this pilgrimage, Malachy experienced a divine vision, a glimpse into the future of the papacy that would forever alter his destiny. According to accounts, Malachy's vision manifested as a series of cryptic phrases, each associated with a future pope. These phrases, written in Latin, range from the seemingly straightforward to the utterly perplexing, offering tantalizing clues about the character, origins, and even the fate of each pontiff to come. This vision, recorded by Malachy himself or perhaps by scribes sworn to secrecy, became known as the prophecy of the popes. For centuries, the prophecy of the popes remained hidden from the world, its existence whispered in hushed tones within the hallowed halls of the Vatican. Some believe that the prophecy was deliberately suppressed, its contents deemed too sensitive, too explosive for public consumption. Others speculate that the document was simply lost, misplaced amidst the vast archives of the Church, awaiting rediscovery at a time when its message would resonate with renewed urgency. The prophecy of the popes lay dormant for centuries, its cryptic verses hidden away from the world's prying eyes. Then, in the year 1595, the silence was broken. A Benedictine monk named Arnold de Wyon, delving into the depths of the Vatican archives, stumbled upon a document that would ignite controversy and speculation for generations to come. There, amidst dusty tomes and forgotten scrolls, lay a manuscript containing the long-lost prophecy attributed to Saint Malachy. The verses, penned in faded ink on brittle parchment, spoke of a succession of popes, each identified by a cryptic motto. De Wyon, intrigued and perhaps a touch apprehensive, recognized the potential significance of his discovery. The prophecy, if authentic, held profound implications for the Church and its followers. De Wyon's decision to publish the prophecy proved to be a pivotal moment in its history. The document, once shrouded in secrecy, was now thrust into the public domain. Its enigmatic pronouncements open to scrutiny, interpretation, and inevitable debate. The world, it seemed, was both fascinated and unsettled by the prospect of knowing the future of the papacy, a lineage that stretched back to the very foundations of Christianity. The publication of the Prophecy of the Popes in 1595 triggered a wave of interest and intrigue. Scholars, theologians, and armchair prophets alike pored over the cryptic verses, seeking to decipher their hidden meanings and assess their accuracy. The prophecy, once whispered in hushed tones, became a subject of widespread discussion and debate, its pronouncements echoing through the corridors of power and the homes of the faithful alike. Arnold de Wyon, the Benedictine monk who unearthed the prophecy of the popes, remains an enigmatic figure in this intriguing saga. Little is known about his life and motivations, adding another layer of mystery to the already perplexing document he brought to light. Some speculate that de Wyon was a devout believer, driven by a desire to share Saint Malachy's vision with the world. Others whisper of more calculated motives, suggesting that de Wyon might have been influenced by the political and religious turmoil of his time. The late 16th century was a period of great upheaval within the Church, marked by the Protestant Reformation and the Counter-Reformation. Could de Wyon's publication of the prophecy have been intended to bolster the papacy's authority or advance a particular faction within the Church? Regardless of de Wyon's intentions, his decision to publish the prophecy had far-reaching consequences. The document, once confined to the shadows of the Vatican archives, now circulated freely, sparking both fervent belief and staunch skepticism. The very act of publication thrust the prophecy of the popes into the heart of religious and political discourse, ensuring its enduring legacy as a subject of fascination and controversy. The manuscript itself, purportedly containing Saint Malachy's handwritten prophecy, has since vanished, adding yet another layer of intrigue to the story. Some believe that the manuscript was deliberately destroyed, deemed too dangerous or too revealing to remain in existence. Others speculate that it might still be hidden away, carefully guarded within the Vatican's secret archives, awaiting a time when its secrets can be safely revealed. From the moment of its publication, the prophecy of the popes has been met with a mixture of awe, skepticism, and outright dismissal. Believers point to the uncanny accuracy of some of its pronouncements, particularly those describing popes who reigned before the prophecy's publication in 1595. These apparent hits, they argue, lend credence to the notion that Saint Malachy did indeed receive a divine vision of the papacy's future. Skeptics, however, counter with a more grounded perspective. They argue that the prophecy's accuracy is largely a matter of interpretation, with its cryptic verses open to multiple readings and often applied retroactively to fit historical events. Furthermore, the absence of any mention of the prophecy before its publication in the 16th century raises serious doubts about its authenticity. Could such a significant document, purportedly originating in the 12th century, have remained hidden for so long? The debate over the authenticity of the prophecy of the popes often centers on the question of its origins. Was it truly a divine revelation granted to Saint Malachy during his pilgrimage to Rome? Or was it a clever forgery, perhaps crafted in the 16th century to serve a particular political or religious agenda? The lack of conclusive evidence on either side only deepens the mystery, fueling speculation and ensuring that the prophecy remains a subject of enduring fascination. Despite the lack of definitive proof, the prophecy of the popes continues to captivate the imagination, its cryptic verses offering a tantalizing glimpse into the future of the papacy. Whether viewed as a genuine prophecy, a historical curiosity, or a clever fabrication, the document's enduring appeal lies in its power to evoke wonder, spark debate, and perhaps even offer a glimpse into the deepest hopes and fears of those who dare to believe. Right at the heart of this prophecy of the popes, we find these mysterious phrases. Each one goes with a specific pope, all the way from Celestine II, way back in the 1100s, to the very last pope, the mysterious Petrus Romanus. These phrases, written in Latin, are all different lengths and some are easier to understand than others. Some seem pretty simple, while others are full of symbols and secrets. The tricky part, for both people who believe in the prophecy and those who don't, is figuring out what these cryptic messages mean. It's like trying to connect these ancient words to the complicated history of the popes. Each phrase is a puzzle, a riddle waiting to be solved, and what it really means is often argued about and debated. Some of these phrases seem to describe where a pope was born or his family crest. Others hint at what they were like as people, their time as pope, or maybe even the tough times they faced. For instance, the motto "De Rure Albo," which means "from the white countryside," is thought to be about Pope Adrian IV. He was the only Englishman ever to be pope, and he was born near St. Albans, which is known for its white chalky hills. Gap 2S. But figuring out what these phrases mean is hardly ever easy. The words can have lots of different meanings, and what might seem like a clear match to one person might seem like a stretch or just a coincidence to someone else. This makes it both fascinating and controversial, and it keeps the arguments going about what the prophecy really means and if it's even true. Despite the skepticism surrounding the prophecy of the popes, even the most ardent critics struggle to dismiss the uncanny accuracy of some of its pronouncements. Certain phrases seem to align with historical events and papal reigns with an almost eerie precision, leading some to believe that Saint Malachy's vision was indeed a glimpse into the future, a divine revelation of the papacy's destined course. One often cited example is the motto "Pastor et Nauta," meaning shepherd and sailor, which is associated with Pope John XXIII, who reigned from 1958 to 1963. John XXIII, before his elevation to the papacy, served as the Patriarch of Venice, a city renowned for its canals and maritime heritage. This connection between the prophecy's sailor and John XXIII's Venetian past is seen by believers as evidence of the document's predictive power. Another striking example is the motto "Flos Florum," meaning flower of flowers, which corresponds to Pope Paul VI, John XXIII's successor. The papal coat of arms for the Paul family prominently features lilies, often associated with purity and symbolically, the Virgin Mary. This connection between the flower of flowers and the lilies on Paul VI's coat of arms is seen as further evidence of the prophecy's uncanny accuracy. While some dismiss these apparent hits as mere coincidences or the result of creative interpretation, others see them as compelling evidence of the prophecy's divine inspiration. The debate, like the prophecy itself, remains open to interpretation, a testament to the enduring power of belief and the human fascination with the unknown. The prophecy of the popes, like many ancient texts shrouded in mystery, has become a battleground for believers and skeptics, each side offering compelling arguments to support their perspective. Believers point to the prophecy's apparent accuracy in describing past popes, particularly those who reigned before its publication, as evidence of its divine origin. They argue that the prophecy's cryptic verses offer a glimpse into a divinely ordained plan, a roadmap of the papacy's destined course. Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced. They argue that the prophecy's accuracy is often exaggerated, the result of selective interpretation, and a tendency to fit historical events into the prophecy's pre-existing framework. They point out that many of the phrases are vague and open to multiple interpretations, allowing for a wide margin of error and a greater likelihood of finding apparent hits where none exist. Furthermore, skeptics raise questions about the prophecy's late emergence. If the document was indeed written by Saint Malachy in the 12th century, why did it remain hidden for centuries, only to surface conveniently in the 16th century, a time of great religious and political upheaval within the Church? This suspicious timing, they argue, suggests that the prophecy might be a clever forgery, perhaps crafted to advance a particular agenda or to bolster the papacy's authority during a time of challenge and uncertainty. The debate over the prophecy of the popes is ultimately a debate about faith, history, and the limits of human understanding. It is a debate that transcends simple matters of evidence and proof, delving into the very nature of belief, the enduring allure of the unknown, and the human desire to make sense of a world often shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. As we delve deeper into the enigmatic prophecy of the popes, a palpable sense of foreboding descends, for we are approaching the precipice of its most chilling prediction. While the preceding verses offer a cryptic chronicle of popes past, it is the final entry that has captivated and unsettled imaginations for centuries, casting a long shadow over the very notion of the papacy and its place in the grand tapestry of time. The prophecy of the popes does not conclude with a whimper but with a roar, a thunderous proclamation that reverberates with apocalyptic overtones. It speaks of a final pope, a figure shrouded in both mystery and dread, whose reign will herald a period of unprecedented tribulation, a crucible from which the fate of the church and perhaps the world itself will emerge transformed. The very name assigned to this final pontiff sends shivers down the spines of believers and skeptics alike. Petrus Romanus, Peter the Roman. The name itself is laden with symbolism, echoing the legacy of Saint Peter, the first pope, while simultaneously hinting at a return to the Church's roots in the heart of the Roman Empire. But unlike his namesake, who embraced martyrdom with unwavering faith, Petrus Romanus is destined to preside over a period of unimaginable darkness and upheaval. The prophecy of the popes does not shy away from depicting the trials that await Petrus Romanus and his flock. It speaks of persecution, of tribulation, of a final confrontation between good and evil that will determine the fate of humanity. The stage is set for a cosmic drama, a final act in the long and tumultuous history of the Church with Petrus Romanus at its very center. The prophecy concerning Petrus Romanus unfolds with unusual detail, as if the weight of its pronouncements demanded a more deliberate, more emphatic articulation. The very language used to describe this final pontificate crackles with an unsettling intensity, leaving no doubt that the reign of Petrus Romanus will be unlike any other. The prophecy reads, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amidst many tribulations. After these things are completed, the city of 7 hills shall be destroyed, and the dreadful judge shall judge the people." The end. Each phrase of this chilling prediction drips with portent, each image conjuring visions of chaos and despair. The final persecution suggests an unprecedented assault on the Church, a time when faith will be tested like never before. Petrus Romanus, the shepherd entrusted with guiding his flock through this tumultuous period, will face challenges that dwarf those of his predecessors. He will be a figure of immense spiritual strength, forced to confront not only the external forces arrayed against the Church, but also the internal divisions and doubts that threaten to tear it apart from within. The prophecy's reference to the destruction of the city of 7 hills, an unmistakable allusion to Rome itself, elevates the stakes to apocalyptic proportions. The eternal city, the very heart of the Roman Catholic Church, is destined to face a cataclysm of unimaginable magnitude, a fate inextricably linked to the reign of Petrus Romanus. The prophecy of Petrus Romanus does not merely foretell the future, it actively shapes the present. For centuries, believers and skeptics alike have grappled with its chilling implications, seeking to decipher its hidden meanings and to discern its relevance to their own time. Each new pope, each twist and turn in the Church's long and tumultuous history, is inevitably viewed through the lens of this ancient prediction, its words echoing through the corridors of time. For the faithful, the prophecy of Petrus Romanus serves as both a warning and a call to vigilance. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, faith must endure, that the Church, though battered and besieged, will ultimately emerge triumphant. The reign of Petrus Romanus, though fraught with tribulation, is not an ending but a prelude to a new spiritual awakening, a purification by fire that will usher in an era of unprecedented grace. Skeptics, however, view the prophecy with a more critical eye. They see it as a product of its time, a reflection of the anxieties and uncertainties that gripped medieval Europe. The prophecy's apocalyptic imagery, they argue, is more a testament to the human capacity for fear and superstition than a reliable predictor of future events. Whether viewed as divine revelation or a product of human imagination, the prophecy of Petrus Romanus continues to exert a powerful hold on the collective consciousness. It stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of human institutions, the enduring power of belief, and the enduring mystery that surrounds our place in the grand tapestry of time. The prophecy of the popes, with its chilling prediction of Petrus Romanus, the last pope, has cast a long shadow over the modern papacy. Each new pontiff's election is met with scrutiny, their every word and deed analyzed for any hint of alignment with Saint Malachy's cryptic vision. The weight of this ancient prophecy, whether embraced as divine guidance or dismissed as an elaborate fabrication, inevitably influences the perceptions and interpretations of both the faithful and the skeptical. As the 20th century drew to a close, the world watched with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation as the papacy of John Paul II, a figure of immense charisma and global influence, entered its twilight years. John Paul II, the 263rd Pope according to Malachy's list, was associated with the motto De labor solis, meaning from the labor of the sun. Some interpreted this as a reference to the solar eclipse that occurred on the day of his birth, while others saw it as an allusion to his tireless efforts to spread the gospel message to the far corners of the globe. John Paul II's death in 2005 marked the end of an era, leaving a void in the Catholic Church and in the hearts of millions worldwide. As the College of Cardinals convened in the Sistine Chapel to elect his successor, the prophecy of the popes loomed large, its cryptic pronouncements whispered in hushed tones amidst the grandeur and solemnity of the conclave. The world held its breath, waiting to see who would ascend to the throne of Peter and what their papacy might portend in light of the ancient prophecy. The election of Joseph Ratzinger as Pope Benedict XVI in 2005 was met with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Benedict XVI, a renowned theologian and a staunch defender of traditional Catholic doctrine, was a figure both respected and controversial. His papacy, though relatively brief, would be marked by both challenges and triumphs, and its interpretation through the lens of the Petrus Romanus prophecy would spark debate and speculation within the Church and beyond. Benedict XVI's papacy, though relatively brief, was not without its share of turbulence. He faced challenges on multiple fronts, from internal divisions within the Church to external criticisms of its handling of clerical sex abuse scandals. The weight of these burdens, coupled with advancing age and declining health, seemed to take a toll on the pontiff, and in a move that shocked the world, Benedict XVI announced his resignation in 2013, becoming the first pope in nearly 6 centuries to voluntarily relinquish the papacy. Benedict XVI's resignation sent shockwaves through the Catholic Church and beyond. Never in modern times had a pope voluntarily stepped down from his position, and the unprecedented nature of this event sparked a flurry of speculation and interpretation. Some saw it as a sign of humility, a recognition that the burdens of the papacy had become too great for the aging pontiff to bear. Others whispered of more sinister forces at play, suggesting that Benedict XVI's resignation was not entirely voluntary, but rather the result of pressure from within the Vatican, perhaps even a sign that the Church itself was on the brink of a major upheaval. The prophecy of the popes, with its prediction of a final pope facing unprecedented tribulation, inevitably colored the interpretation of Benedict XVI's resignation. Some saw it as a sign that the end times were approaching, that the reign of Petrus Romanus was drawing near. Could Benedict XVI's decision to step down be seen as a fulfillment of the prophecy's prediction of a pope facing unimaginable challenges? Or was his resignation merely a reflection of the personal struggles of an aging and weary pontiff, an event entirely unrelated to the ancient prophecy's cryptic pronouncements. Whatever the reason for Benedict XVI's resignation, it marked a turning point in the history of the papacy, a moment of profound uncertainty and transition. The world watched with bated breath as the College of Cardinals once again convened in conclave, tasked with electing a new leader for a church grappling with internal divisions, external pressures, and the enduring legacy of an ancient prophecy that seemed to draw ever closer to its enigmatic culmination. The conclave of 2013 concluded with the election of Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Archbishop of Buenos Aires, Argentina, who took the name Francis. The election of Pope Francis was a watershed moment in the history of the Catholic Church, marking the first time a Jesuit had ascended to the papacy and the first time a pope had been chosen from the Americas. Francis's election was met with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. Known for his humility, his commitment to social justice, and his more pastoral approach to church leadership, Francis represented a departure from the more traditional and doctrinal style of his predecessor. His papacy, from its very inception, signaled a potential shift in direction for the Catholic Church, a willingness to engage with the modern world in new and perhaps unexpected ways. The prophecy of the popes, with its cryptic prediction of Petrus Romanus, the last pope, once again took center stage in the global conversation surrounding the papacy. Francis's background, his personal qualities, and even his choice of papal name were scrutinized for any hint of alignment with the ancient prophecy. Some saw in Francis a potential embodiment of Petrus Romanus, pointing to his Jesuit background, his focus on social justice, and his willingness to challenge the status quo within the Church as signs that he might be the Pope, destined to lead the faithful through a period of unprecedented tribulation. Others, however, cautioned against reading too much into the prophecy, emphasizing that its cryptic pronouncements are open to multiple interpretations, and that attempting to force-fit current events into its predetermined framework is a perilous exercise. Francis's papacy, they argued, should be judged on its own merits, not through the distorting lens of an ancient and enigmatic prophecy. The prophecy of the popes, with its tantalizing glimpses into the future of the papacy, has always walked a tightrope between belief and skepticism. While some embrace its pronouncements as divinely inspired, others view it with a more critical eye, questioning its authenticity and the motives of those who perpetuate its enigmatic narrative. One of the primary points of contention lies in the prophecy's late emergence. If Saint Malachy did indeed pen this document in the 12th century, why did it remain hidden for nearly 400 years, only to surface conveniently in the 16th century, a time of immense upheaval within the Church? This suspicious timing has led some scholars to suggest that the prophecy might be a clever forgery, perhaps crafted to advance a particular agenda during a period of intense religious and political maneuvering. Furthermore, skeptics point to the prophecy's often vague and ambiguous language, which lends itself to multiple interpretations and allows for a considerable margin of error when attempting to align its pronouncements with historical events. What might appear as an uncanny hit to one observer could easily be dismissed as a coincidence or a strained interpretation by another. This inherent subjectivity, they argue, undermines the prophecy's claim to predictive accuracy. Adding to the skepticism is the lack of any independent corroboration for the prophecy's existence prior to its publication in 1595. No mention of the document, nor any hint of its contents can be found in contemporary accounts of Saint Malachy's life, or in any other historical records from the 12th century. This absence of supporting evidence has led some to conclude that the prophecy is nothing more than an elaborate hoax, a fabrication designed to exploit the anxieties and uncertainties of a turbulent era. The Vatican, for its part, has maintained a curious silence regarding the prophecy of the popes. The Church has neither officially endorsed nor condemned the document, preferring instead to adopt a position of cautious ambiguity. This official silence, however, has done little to quell the speculation and debate surrounding the prophecy, which continues to circulate within Catholic circles and beyond. Some interpret the Vatican's silence as tacit approval, suggesting that the Church, while hesitant to fully embrace the prophecy's more controversial aspects, nonetheless acknowledges its potential significance. Others view it as a strategic maneuver, a way of avoiding a potentially divisive debate that could further alienate segments of the faithful or undermine the Church's authority. The Vatican's archives, a treasure trove of historical documents and religious artifacts, hold the potential to shed light on the origins and authenticity of the prophecy of the popes. However, access to these archives is tightly controlled, and requests to examine documents related to the prophecy are often met with resistance or outright denial. This secrecy, while understandable given the sensitive nature of the subject matter, only serves to fuel speculation and deepen the aura of mystery surrounding the document. The Vatican's reluctance to engage with the prophecy of the popes in a more transparent manner has led some to suspect that the Church may be harboring secrets, perhaps even evidence that could confirm or debunk the prophecy's authenticity once and for all. Others believe that the Vatican's silence is simply a reflection of its long-standing tradition of guarding its inner workings and doctrines from outside scrutiny, a way of preserving the mystique and authority of the papacy. The prophecy of the popes, with its chilling prediction of a final pope presiding over a time of tribulation and transformation, does not stand alone in the annals of religious prophecy. Throughout history, mystics, seers, and saints have reported visions of the end times, their pronouncements often echoing similar themes of upheaval, judgment, and ultimately, renewal. These prophecies, though originating from different times and traditions, share a common thread of foreboding, a sense that the world as we know it is drawing to a close. One such prophecy, deeply ingrained in the Catholic tradition, is the enigmatic message of Fatima. In 1917, 3 shepherd children in Fatima, Portugal, reported a series of apparitions of the Virgin Mary, who entrusted them with 3 secrets. The first 2 secrets, revealed shortly after the apparitions, concerned the outbreak of World War II and the rise of communist Russia. The third secret, however, remained shrouded in secrecy for decades, fueling speculation and anxiety within the Church and beyond. When the Vatican finally revealed the third secret of Fatima in 2000, its contents proved to be both cryptic and unsettling. The vision described a bishop in white walking through a ravaged city, ultimately falling victim to gunfire amidst a scene of chaos and destruction. While the Vatican downplayed the apocalyptic overtones of this vision, interpreting it as a symbolic representation of the suffering endured by the Church in the 20th century, many believers saw it as a chilling premonition of future events, perhaps even a confirmation of the Petrus Romanus prophecy. Adding to the chorus of prophetic warnings are the visions of various Catholic mystics, who throughout the centuries have reported glimpses of a coming tribulation. Anna Maria Taigi, an 18th century Italian mystic, described a period of immense upheaval within the Church and the world, marked by natural disasters, political turmoil, and a decline in faith. Blessed Elena Aiello, an Italian nun who died in 1961, also predicted a time of great suffering for humanity, warning of a terrible scourge that would engulf the world. The prophecy of the popes, with its chilling prediction of Petrus Romanus, the last pope, has cast a long shadow over the modern papacy. The convergence of these prophecies, each pointing towards a period of unprecedented tribulation and transformation, raises profound questions about the nature of time, fate, and the human capacity to glimpse the future. Are these prophecies independent echoes of a divinely ordained plan, or are they simply reflections of the anxieties and uncertainties that have always plagued humanity? Some argue that the similarities between these prophecies are too striking to be dismissed as mere coincidence. They point to the recurring themes of upheaval, judgment, and renewal, as evidence that these visions are tapping into a deeper spiritual reality, a cosmic drama unfolding according to a divine script. The prophecies, they believe, serve as warnings from beyond, urging humanity to repent and return to a path of righteousness before it is too late. Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced. They argue that the human psyche is naturally drawn to patterns and connections, often finding meaning and significance where none exists. The prophecies, they believe, are products of their time, reflecting the anxieties and fears of the eras in which they emerged. The recurring themes of upheaval and judgment, they argue, are simply manifestations of the timeless human struggle against mortality, uncertainty, and the unknown. Whether viewed as divine pronouncements or products of human imagination, these prophecies continue to captivate and unsettle, their enigmatic pronouncements echoing through the corridors of time. They serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of human existence, the enduring power of belief, and the enduring mystery that surrounds our place in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. As the Catholic Church navigates the complexities of the 21st century, grappling with internal divisions, external pressures, and a rapidly changing world, the shadow of prophecy looms large. The prophecy of the popes, with its enigmatic prediction of Petrus Romanus, the last pope, continues to spark debate and speculation, its cryptic pronouncements echoing through the corridors of time. The Church today faces a myriad of challenges, from declining attendance in the West to the rise of secularism and religious indifference. Scandals within the clergy have shaken the faith of many, while the Church's stance on issues such as contraception, divorce, and same-sex marriage has alienated some while emboldening others to call for reform. The papacy of Pope Francis, with its emphasis on humility, social justice, and dialogue, represents an attempt to address these challenges head-on, to chart a new course for a church grappling with its place in a rapidly changing world. The question remains, does the prophecy of the popes hold any relevance for the Church's current predicament? Is the reign of Petrus Romanus, with its predictions of tribulation and transformation, drawing near? Or is the prophecy merely a relic of a bygone era, its pronouncements irrelevant to the challenges and opportunities facing the Church today? The answers, as always, are elusive, shrouded in the mists of time and interpretation. The Church, like any institution steeped in tradition and history, must find a way to balance the weight of its past with the demands of the present, to remain true to its core teachings, while adapting to the ever-evolving needs of its followers. Whether the prophecy of the popes serves as a guidepost or a distraction on this journey is a matter of individual belief and interpretation. The prophecy of the popes, regardless of its authenticity or predictive accuracy, stands as a testament to the enduring power of belief and the human fascination with the unknown. For centuries, its cryptic pronouncements have captivated and unsettled imaginations, fueling endless debates and interpretations. Whether embraced as divine revelation or dismissed as an elaborate fabrication, the prophecy continues to exert a strange hold on the collective consciousness, a reminder of the enduring allure of mystery and the timeless human desire to make sense of a world often shrouded in uncertainty. The prophecy's true legacy lies not in its ability to predict the future, but in its capacity to spark dialogue, to challenge assumptions, and to invite contemplation of the deeper questions that have always plagued humanity. What is our place in the grand tapestry of time? Are our destinies preordained, or do we have the power to shape our own futures? What does it mean to live a life of faith in a world often governed by doubt, uncertainty, and rapid change? The prophecy of the popes, with its cryptic verses and enigmatic pronouncements, ultimately serves as a mirror reflecting our own hopes, fears, and anxieties back at us. Whether we choose to interpret its message as a divine warning, a historical curiosity, or a clever fabrication, the prophecy challenges us to confront our own beliefs, to grapple with the mysteries of faith and fate, and to consider the legacy we will leave behind in the ever-unfolding narrative of human history. As we stand at the crossroads of the 21st century, facing an uncertain future fraught with both promise and peril, the words of the prophecy of the popes continue to echo through the corridors of time, a reminder that the past, present, and future are inextricably intertwined, and that the choices we make today will shape the destiny of generations to come. The final chapter in the saga of Petrus Romanus, like the future itself, remains unwritten, a testament to the enduring mystery of human existence and the enduring power of belief in a world perpetually poised on the precipice of transformation.